Good evening, YouTube. This is an Arduino Nano. One of the first things that you do with one of these is you plug it into power. They come with a blinking LED program, that flashing LED on the bottom. They supply the source code to that. There's a little blink sketch that you can compile and modify to change that. But I thought I would like to do something a little more involved, so let me show you what I had in mind. Okay, looking at that blinking LED on the Arduino, I thought that wasn't a flashing light, but something like this would make a much better flashing light. So this is one of these Glade plugins. So it's got a little air scent bottle inside there, and then up on the top here it's got 3 LEDs inside, and they basically fade on and off. There's a red, green, and blue LED in there. So they've got that fading pattern. I thought that would be kind of neat to implement on my little Arduino. Okay, so I looked at the way that Glade plugins light works, and there seems to be about 9 seconds for the full cycle, and there's basically 6 phases if you work that out. If you look at the red LED, it starts and ramps up in the first phase, and then it's on full brightness for 2 phases, then it fades out in the 3rd phase. 4 and 5, it's down at 0 there, and then it repeats, and then the green is delayed by 2 phases, and the blue is delayed by 4 phases. If you look at red starts there, green starts there, and then the blue starts there. It was about 1.5 seconds for each one of those divisions. And if you look at the Arduino, it's got an 8-bit PWM, so there's 0 to 255 or 256 total increments, so you get about a 6 millisecond delay if you want to go from 0 to 255 in that 1.5 seconds. So let's take a look at the little sketch that I put together. One of the example program is called Fading. It's for a single analog write. The original sketch was set up for 1 LED attached to digital pin 9, and so I took that code and added 2 more pins. So I added a red, green, and blue LED, and here's my 6 millisecond delay time. I have a fade on and a fade off function here. The fade on starts at 0, goes up to 255, increments by the step, and then there's the delay time of the 6 milliseconds. The fade off goes from 255 down to 0. I set up the pins, and then I start out turning the red and green LEDs off to start the cycle, and then I fade the blue LED on to start with. So that's kind of my initial condition, and then I start out, have my 6 phases. I turn the red on, I turn the blue off, then I turn the green on, turn the red off, turn the blue on, and turn the green off, and then you just repeat. That was my little sketch to do the 3 color fading LEDs, and let me show you what it looks like in person. Okay, and so this was my first little attempt at an Arduino project. So I wired up a red, green, and blue LED there, and let me plug in power, and there we go. In fact, let me turn off the camera light here so we can see the LEDs. There's the blue. You can see that's pretty much the same thing that Glade Plugins scented light was doing. So I thought that was pretty neat. I didn't have exact values of the current limiting resistors, and I tried to get the LEDs to be roughly the same brightness. So I had to kind of stack up a few different resistors in parallel, and these were just some random LEDs I had. You know, they're definitely not matched. It was kind of fun to wire up a little project like that and come up with a sketch to see if I could, you know, make something work with this. There was my attempt at a fading red, green, and blue LED. So if there's any interest, I'll put this sketch up on my Google Drive page and put a link in the video description if you want to check that out. But I just mainly wanted to jump in and play with one of these Arduinos and see how they worked, and they seem to work pretty good. Yeah, that was kind of a fun little example, a little more involved than the Blink program. Yeah, if you found that video interesting, give it a thumbs up there, share it with your friends, and be sure to stay tuned to the channel for some more Arduino projects. I'll be combining my Arduino and my home automation system and putting one of these little things online and seeing if we can create an Internet of Things type gadget. So if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel to be informed of updates, and as always, thanks for watching.